So today we're going to be going over 10 fragrances that people will immediately smell as soon as you enter a room. So it's more than just projection here. I'm also looking at the scent profiles themselves, and there's something about these 10 that just are able to occupy a space so easily. You know, they all have this richness and this depth and this power to them beyond the performance that just take up a room, and you can't miss these. I mean, if you are wearing one of these fragrances and you walk into a room, even if people don't say anything to you, rest assured they are smelling you. And on the other end of things, if you wanted to test this, spray one of these on a friend of yours, walk into a room, and you'll find that not long after, that fragrance is going to start to work its way through that space, and then you're going to be smelling it big time. So the performance is coupled with that just scent depth to really make these stand out. And if you want to stand out, check out any of these 10. So I will link these all down below. Also, go check out my community tab. I'm posting deals over there every day, multiple times a day. If you don't want to spend an arm and a leg just kind of shopping blindly, because there's a lot of discounters to choose from, just go over there. I'm going to, sift through the internet and find the best prices and the best deals for you, even some discontinued and rare stuff as well. First up, MIYAKE NOIR AMBRE. It's got amber, vanilla, leather, saffron, a very rich, resinous, sweet, masculine, leathery, a little bit earthy. This is an amazing fragrance. It's one that for the longest time was hard to get, although it did come back into stock. So now you can pick this one up again. And while you're able to get it, I want to be able to talk about it, because I only talk about things that you can buy. At the time of me shooting this and uploading it, you can get this one. And one thing that's really impressed me from the very beginning is just the performance. Fragrances, especially from this brand, can be kind of hit or miss with performance. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're horrible, but this one is on the upper end of things here. And again, not only that, but the depth and the richness that this fragrance has makes it super easy to just fill up a room. If you want to play it a little bit more safe and go with something a bit fresher and fruitier and more playful, you could go with this one, RASASI HAWAS. It's got plum, bergamot, apple, ambergris or ambroxan, and watery notes. This is the Invictus Aqua DNA Originator 2015 release, and it's one of my favorite summer fragrances of all time. Love this DNA, love this stuff. And now that all Invictus Aqua has been discontinued, this is the one to get. Even when you can get the 2018, I still prefer this. And honestly, if they re-released the original 2016 DNA, I would still just stick with this. In a lot of situations, it's more affordable. It still has amazing performance, and it just really works well. Quality even is very good. And there's something about this DNA, especially in the summer or just with a little bit of heat on it, to where it really opens up. Not only does it project, but it leaves a nice trail, and it just does a really good job of just kind of having this presence about it and working its way into a room and just hanging in the air. And it's something that a lot of people are going to love when you're wearing this, because people love this stuff. Same with this one here. You'll find that you have a very good success rate with AZZARO, the Most Wanted. This one has toffee, it's got amberwood, there's some vanillic sweetnesses in here, and it smells very nice. It's not quite the same as Wanted by Night, it's quite a bit different. And so this was a little bit of a refreshing flanker, because Wanted by Night, of course, is a flanker of Wanted, and Wanted by Night has some Wanted DNA in there, that kind of lemony smell, fruitiness, that sort of thing. This one goes in a completely different direction, which was kind of nice. And from here, we have the Most Wanted Parfum. That also could have been in this video, but I wanted to change it up and feature this because I don't talk about it as much. This one does have a little bit of cardamom in it as well that you get off the top, and then that toffee immediately follows. So it's a little bit gourmand leaning, but it's very sweet. And because of that, it's going to lean in that more playful, youthful direction, kind of like HAWAS, although instead of being fresher, it's much sweeter. So for the younger crowd out there, you guys are really going to enjoy this one and eat this up. It's an amazing scent that has good quality, great performance, and it has this heavy richness about it that will occupy any room. Now, this next one here has mega performance. So you don't have to worry about this ever stopping or running out in terms of like wearing off, I guess I should say. And you don't have to worry about it not projecting anymore while you're wearing it. I mean, this fragrance is an absolute powerhouse, workhorse, MANCERA red tobacco. So let's just say right off the bat, if you are a little bit more reserved when it comes to wearing your fragrances, this is not going to be for you. If you want all of the attention on you, this is what you want to go for. I'm telling you guys, when you walk into a room wearing this and it only takes a couple sprays, people are going to smell you. Again, whether or not you get comments is going to be up to you. If you look like you're approachable, or if you have a RBF and no one wants to come up and say anything to you, or just depending on the other types of people around you. It can depend on a number of factors, but rest assured, whether people say anything or not, they are going to be assaulted by this fragrance in a good or bad way. It's going to be a little bit polarizing, but I think generally if you're wearing, if you're well dressed and you're rocking with confidence, I think this one will do surprisingly well for you. But that's just that. You got to be confident. You got to be, fully committed to this scent. And if you are, it's going to yield some great results. Kind of following a similar trend of just being so incredibly strong. And I wasn't expecting this one to be, just because, it is a clone and it's not cheap, but it's also not super, super expensive. And I just feel like sometimes it can be hard to replicate some high-performing fragrances, but this one here did a really good job. HARAMAIN's Amber Oud. This is going to be the Ruby edition, and this smells very similar to Baccarat Rouge 540 Extrait. So the Extrait has that almond accord in there, and that's what this one has as well. It is so, so strong. You spray it up in the air, it's going to be suspended in the air for a very long time, and if you're wearing this on skin and you enter a room, it's going to project, it's going to work its way through the air because this DNA is very transparent and light, and it just does that sort of thing really well. Same with the original. So if you have the money for the original, by all means, knock yourself out. But if you're on a budget and you don't want to spend a ridiculous amount of money, you go for this one. You're going to smell unique, different than everyone else, and people are going to smell you from a mile away. I had to throw in one of my personal favorites here, one that still tends to work fantastic, especially now that we're approaching the cooler seasons. SPICEBOMB Extreme, tobacco, vanilla, black pepper. It's all about that tobacco vanilla combo. One of the best tobacco fragrances on the designer side for men on the market, in my opinion. There's, a good amount, but more so when you get over to niche, and I'm not talking niche, I'm talking designers. One of the best tobaccos you can get. And yeah, the price is a little bit up there, but it's another one of those deals where it's worth the investment. You buy this one, you're going to get a lot of use out of it in fall and winter time. It's really versatile for that time of year. It's kind of festive smelling. It's great for the cold weather. It performs good. It has great quality, and it's just kind of a premium product. It really is a premium designer here. It smells like it. It even kind of looks like it somewhat. I mean, some could disagree, but I think kind of the orange accenting there they have on this, I just think it's a very attractive presentation. I think the scent is even better, and people will smell this one on you as soon as you walk in. And this is going to have a very high success rate as well for just getting compliments and that sort of thing. It really works well for that. And I would say this next one is probably going to be your best bet overall for compliments. Looking either this or the RASASI that we talked about. It's kind of neck and neck. They're similar in some ways, not all the way though. It's Versace Dylan Blue. It's got the bergamot, ambroxan, patchouli smell. I love Dylan Blue. I think it's an amazing, amazing scent. It's one that I've recommended to several people outside of YouTube videos, like in real life when someone asked, hey, what fragrance should I get? Actually, a good friend of mine from high school, I recommended this to him, and I think he's still wearing it. It worked out well. And he, I think, went through a bottle and was asking me where to get another one for a good price. I think he was going to get the 200 ml like this. And so that's pretty cool, right? It's a really easy one to recommend. And even after all the stuff that I've accumulated over the years, I still wear this from time to time because I like how it smells, and so does my fiance. It's a people pleaser. It's a very strong performer. It's a blue fragrance, but with a nighttime twist, a little bit more of a mysterious kind of smoky, sweet depth to it, which I really like. And when you wear this one and walk into a room, people are going to smell you. And if you really want to ball out for this video here and you've got some budget left over, then I would recommend you put your money into something like ROJA Parfums, Enigma, or Creation E. This bottle's a little bit fingerprinted. And the reason why I say put it into a ROJA is, one, because they're just premium products. Now, I bought this with my own money. I have received free ROJAs, but I've also bought a lot of them, and multiples of the same, like Elysium. I've got a couple of Scandal that I bought, and a couple others that I got backup bottles of just because that's what I like to do for reasons, I guess. And so I've spent a lot of money on the brand. But one thing's for sure is they do produce a premium product. The presentation is nice, especially when you get these parfums. Looks fantastic. I love the coloration of the juice. The quality has always exceeded my expectations. Very smooth, so sexy, and so just like luxurious and rich smelling. This DNA is just one of a kind. I love it. It's got some tobacco in here with some boozy accords as well, some vanilla sweetness, benzoin, beautiful scent composition. Even has a little bit of this cola fizzy smell. You kind of hear people talk about that, like a Coca-Cola smell mixed with this tobacco, rum, liqueur, booziness. This DNA, again, is just incredible. I could go on and on about it. I could just blabber about this stuff. It's one of those things where you got to smell it. When you start trying to describe things like this, you kind of do what I do and you just start blabbering. No one likes to hear that. So get a sample, or if you're confident, blind buy it and you got the money. But the point is, if you wear this one walking into a room, trust me, people will be able to smell you all over the place for a long time. This stuff is very strong. Kind of end with a cheapie, or well, not end fully. We got one more after this. It is ULTRARED by PACO RABANNE. This is one that kind of did a vanishing act and then it came back into stock. It's got praline, some sweet notes going on in here, kind of a blood orange accord off the top. It gets compared a little bit to Ultra Zest. You know, that's a discontinued one. I don't have Ultra Zest. That sucks. But what I can tell you is this smells very pleasant. It's not a mind-blowing scent for me. Like, it's not one that I get super excited about like a good majority of these others. But I do really like it. It's very sweet. It's PACO RABANNE style. And it's got really nice performance. But above that, the scent composition itself is very rich and very heavy. And it just does a great job of filling up a room and getting people's attention. And we'll finish this one off with kind of a mid-range price, $50, $55, 100 ml bottle. Used to be cheaper. I don't know what's been up with this line. A couple from this line have gone up. FERRAGAMO UOMO. So remember this in Signature. Weren't these, maybe I'm wrong here, comment down below, but weren't these at one point around like $35 or $40 for 100 ml? Maybe 35 is a little bit low, maybe 40. I don't know. I could be wrong. I thought they were. That's kind of Ferragamo pricing. Now they're 50, 55. Personally, I still think they're worth it at that price, but I'll let you be the judge of that. I'm happy with them, and I would buy them again if I were to run through a bottle, which I don't think I ever will. Very strong, but I love it. Tiramisu fragrance, and when you rip the atomizer on this thing and smell it, God, it smells gorgeous. This roasted, almost creme brulee, tiramisu, coffee sweetness. It literally smells like a dessert. Gourmand to the next level here. Bits of ambroxan to give it this bright pop. Sweet notes, literally. They just lumped a bunch of things and just called it sweet notes as one of the notes here, which is interesting. Tonka bean, right? There's a lot going on, but one thing that we can all agree on is that this is a heavily sweet fragrance. Because of that, not going to be for everybody. So I'd encourage you to, if you can, sample it, that's fine, but also just kind of have a general understanding of what you like. You know, if you're not into overly sweet fragrances, then go far away from this, trust me. But if you can get down with something like this, and maybe you're one of my younger audience members, then this is going to serve you really well, especially in like a party, clubbing, bar environment. And on top of that, also here in the cooler weather, you know, it's just one of those fragrances that you can just wear out, and it's just going to float through the air and project and just get attention left and right, especially, again, in an environment where people are maybe, you know, somewhat intoxicated and just everyone's having fun, you know, everything's having a good time, and this is a fun fragrance, and I don't know, something about that environment and this fragrance just feels like they're meant to be. So give this one a shot. Works great. Okay, that's gonna do it for me. 10 fragrances that people will immediately smell on you as soon as you enter a room. Strong stuff. Beyond performance, just depth and richness, and something about these that just work really well to have this confident scent space around them. So I will provide links down below. Also, go check out my community tab. Like I said, posting deals every day, all the time, 24/7. Not really, but pretty close. And If you want to save money, that's the place to be. If you want to pick up rare, discontinued stuff, Dior Homme Parfum, among some Roberto Cavalli's, just off the top of my head, some other rare things that have come up. I can't even remember anymore, but go look over there. A lot of rare stuff coming in. Make sure you get subscribed so you see those posts. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.